You ever find yourself in a room where you know you're the outsider, but everyone pretends you're invisible until it's just impossible to ignore? Yeah, that was me that night. Amara Bennett, walking into the Harrove estate, every eye flickering over my tailored suit like they were deciding if I belonged. I remember thinking, here we go, another night of smiling through gritted teeth. I was there to finalize a partnership that would make headlines, a $500 million handshake between my tech company and the legendary Harrove dynasty. Old money, deep roots, the kind of folks who think legacy is written in marble and signed in blood. But legacy, as I learned, can be a brittle thing. You could taste the money in the air, mixed with aged whiskey and the faintest whiff of condescension. The family lawyer insisted on this dinner. Some ritual, I guess, for sealing the deal. The grand ballroom was blinding, chandeliers throwing light over every polished corner. As soon as I stepped in, it was like the soundtrack cut, whispers rolling around me, faces turning, that old familiar dance of curiosity and suspicion. A woman in pearls looked me up and down, smirked, then turned to her friend, not even bothering to lower her voice. And just as the main course was served, Charles Hardgrove Jr., the golden boy himself, lifts his glass and lets out a laugh that slices the room. Did someone let the help in early? You know that moment when you want to melt right through the floor, but pride holds you upright? Yeah, that happened. The room gave a nervous little chuckle, nobody daring to break rank. Not even Charles Sr., who just stared at his steak as if he could carve a better answer out of it. For a second, time stood still. My ears burned, but I wasn't about to let them see me flinch. So I smiled, the kind you practice in the mirror as armor, and excused myself. Walked out before dessert was served, heels clicking down that marble hallway. And as soon as I hit the cold night air, I let myself breathe again. Let me back up a sec. This wasn't the first time I'd been the only one like me in a room full of power suits who looked right through me. My whole career had been a climb up a glass mountain. One hand on my dignity, the other fending off the little slights they call misunderstandings. The insult that night wasn't new. What was new was how public it became. By breakfast the next day, every boardroom in the city was buzzing with the story. Some called it a simple mistake, a joke gone wrong. Others saw it for what it was, a warning shot fired by people who thought the table belonged to them. The Harroves? They sent a lawyerly apology. 3 lines, no phone call, no warmth, just enough to tick the PR box. I could have ignored it, let the money do the talking, told myself to swallow the pride and cash the check. But that's the thing. They'd mistaken my presence for desperation, my patience for weakness. I reviewed the deal, checked every clause, weighed what I'd lose by walking away. Then I picked up the phone, not to explain, to decide. Within 24 hours, I'd scheduled a press conference and called an emergency board meeting. When I walked up to that podium, wearing the simplest cream blazer I owned, the cameras flashed like thunder. I spoke with the steadiness you get from years of swallowing pain and turning it into resolve. When dignity is denied, no amount of money can justify silence. My voice didn't crack. Effective immediately, I am withdrawing from the Harrove partnership. You ever hear a room full of analysts lose their collective minds? Questions flying, the kind of chaos that smells like fear. People couldn't believe it. $500 million just gone. But what they didn't know, 2 other companies had already circled my team, real offers, no strings attached, no sideways glances at my skin or my story. The Harrove deal had been a shortcut, not a lifeline. That night, as if on cue, a video leaked. The moment Charles Jr. cracked his joke caught on a waiter's phone. It went viral before sunrise, and let me tell you, the world does not wait for spin anymore. Hashtags exploded. Respect, eyes priceless, trending for days. The Harrove stock plummeted, 18% in a single trading session. Sponsors backed out. Social media ran wild. Boycotts. Late-night comedians making the family punchlines. Charles Sr. made a shaky TV apology, the kind that tastes of regret and missed opportunity. Charles Jr.? Suspended, sidelined, and suddenly very, very quiet. Meanwhile, my inbox overflowed. Dozens of partnership offers from companies whose leaders didn't need a course in basic decency. My team and I didn't gloat. We moved forward, no press release chest thumping, just a quiet momentum. Sometimes the loudest answer is silence. The refusal to play a rigged game that a few weeks later, I got invited to a global leadership summit. Front row, spotlight, people hanging on my words. My keynote, The Cost of Dignity, broke viewership records. I never mentioned the heroes by name, but everybody knew. Respect is the true currency in business, I said, letting it hang in the air. And you could see it land on every young face in the audience. Every woman, especially those of color, who'd ever been told they were lucky just to be in the room. I didn't become a symbol by shouting or by storming out. I did it by saying no when everyone else expected me to say yes. Somewhere I know the heroes watched it all, sitting in a quiet office, old portraits glaring down, the family legacy flickering on the edge. Not ruined by scandal or sabotage, but by a single, simple decision. A woman who wouldn't trade her dignity for their dollar. You tell me, was it worth it? Maybe they'll rebuild. Maybe they'll fade. Maybe they'll finally learn the lesson money never teaches that, oh, here's what I want to know. Would you have walked away, or would you have stayed and cashed the check? Where's your line between respect and reward? Drop your thoughts below, because sometimes the debate is just getting started.